Okay, thank you guys for showing up again. I think this goes to only one guy because there was one guy in the last lecture. But anyhow, today we have lots of them. For those of you guys who are new to this lecture, let me give a small summary of what happened in the last two lectures. This is basically a series of lectures on nopCommerce. When we started on this, it seems pretty straightforward topic, but then along the way we came to know that this was taking lots of time. There was so much of topics involved, and we came to know that this won't be possible to get it done in one presentation. So then, in the very first presentation, me and Umar, we tried to explain very simple aspects of nopCommerce, and also the non-technical, like for example, we tried to answer that for example, someone say that he needs an e-commerce solution, and then we say that why not, as a developer, we say why not we can have this nopCommerce e-commerce solution for you. He might say why, what's the reason of it. So we discussed stuff that why nopCommerce. We said that because nopCommerce is an open source, it's available completely free. Just go on and download its source code, and that's it. And then we said it's built using an open source technology like ASP.NET MVC. Then we also said that it's very popular. It has been implemented, as of this moment, it has been implemented more than 15,000 times. That means that there are 15,000 real-time online stores right now which are running, and they're doing very good. So that proves that it must be good. Also, we discussed the fact that it has an awesome application architecture. It's very easily maintainable, and lots of other things. I won't go into the detail, but anyhow, just to give you an idea of what we said, that that why we should go for nopCommerce. Then in the second lecture, Umar was here with me. He tried to explain the only second part, which is not open source. I mean, the nopCommerce application itself is an open source, but you guys have got to buy nopCommerce themes, or either you need graphic designers, or you need to buy them. So that's a very tricky part of the nopCommerce development, or let's say the nopCommerce implementation. So that we discussed. We also discussed how to create a theme, how to implement a theme, or how to use the themes that are already out there. There are thousands of free themes and paid themes and everything. And in today's lecture, we will try to answer a little bit more technical questions like how is nopCommerce extensible? How can we extend its functionality? Today we will discuss like if a developer wants to start developing using this nopCommerce, why, what should he need, what should he need to know, technologies that are involved, the architecture that has been implemented in this in the nopCommerce. So this is where we will start on. I would like to start with the plugin architecture. By the way, I hope you guys have some idea of what are we doing in this entire series. Yeah, okay. No, the same on the plugin architecture. Okay. First of all, the very important thing about nopCommerce is that it's based on an architecture which is called plugin architecture. I also come across a website which said that it's betterly called an extensible architecture, an architecture where an application can be easily extended. This is possible because normally developers who are working with nopCommerce, they don't try to straight away write their code. What they do is that they go in and create a plugin. You know, like for example, if I need a change which requires 3 lines of code, I would sit in and write the 3 lines of code. It will take like 30 minutes, let's say. Testing is done, everything's done, you're done. But the problem is, what would happen when there would be the next version of nopCommerce coming on? Then how do we upgrade our nopCommerce solution to the next version? Because in that case, then you will have to implement their version and remember all your code changes and do everything. But if you start creating plugins, what would be the ideal case? It would go like something like this: that you have a plugin, you just need to go to the admin area, click on the install button, and there you are. Your plugin, your functionality is in it. Now, plugin are not only used to extend the functionality, like they're not used to, for example, if I am creating a plugin which is a payment plugin which would use a new method of payment or a new method of online payment, let's say Khalid payment method, all right? So I said let's say, okay? So in that case scenario, I am creating a brand new functionality. Now, what about if there is already a functionality, like let's say somebody is using PayPal, the PayPal plugin payment method. Now, what about in that case? I can also use a new plugin to actually extend that plugin functionality. So in that case, when later on I'm going to upgrade my nopCommerce version, what I can do is that I will first install that plugin, and then I will install my plugin, and hence the case scenario would be satisfied. So as the page says that, you know, in the plugin architecture, what we do basically is that you leave the main application do most of the work, and you do minimum of the work in the plugin that you are creating, or you are writing. So that's what happens with the architecture of it. Next is the project solution folder. This is very crucial. I would like to show it. Could you please minimize this and give me the Visual Studio of it? Yeah, this one. Yes, Solution Explorer. How do you open that? Okay, thank you. This is the folder. Please don't open anything. Yeah, this is the main application folder. You've got to be very familiar with this because it's an MVC application. Since I'm very new to MVC, I'm finding this very tough, you know, to go to the code where I want to make my changes. I'm used to that .aspx CS methodology and concept. It's very easy that way. To go to or find the code where you want to make your changes. And in this case, in this entire solution, you see there are three folders that I would like to explain that are also very important. If you come to this section, this presentation, yeah, you get two web applications, nop.admin, nop.web. Nop.admin is a web application that when runs, only the admin goes there. They are actually administering the application, like they are giving access to users. They are viewing reports which only they can view. They are, in simple words, they are the admins. They are administering the applications. Nop.web is the public store. The public store, the eBay.com, the Amazon.com that you guys see every day and buy stuff from. And that is a simple. The nop.web.framework is basically class libraries, which both of them frankly uses in and out. So this is the presentation folder. This is what happens, what you see in the browsers. And after this, I would like to go to this folder, the plugin folder. Yes, now this is a plugin folder. This is where all the plugins that I was talking about, the plugin architecture. So this is where all the plugin come from. I created a plugin, I think it was this one. Could you please open this one? nop.miss.trialtracker. Yes, this one. Yes, okay. Now this is a plugin class library. You see the very first thing that I didn't wrote my code in someone else's plugin or somewhere in the web application or somewhere in the framework class library. I first of all created a new class library, right? Then secondly, what I did was that you need this description.txt file. Could you please double click on this one? Yeah, thank you. This is, you see, this is a very simple file. I think Umar told me that at first he took a lot of time because he was missing something S from here or something. Was it?
I think it's your S. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, so he said that there was a very small mistake, like he didn't enter the C here, or let's say something here, and the class library was actually nop.plugin.mesh.filetracker.dll, and his entire application wouldn't run, and it took him a lot of while. This is because this is not just a txt file, this is the file that the application uses to recognize your class library as a plugin. And what I just said is that this file is the file that would make your application recognize as this class library as a plugin. Now this sentence is very important, because if you didn't do it, this would just be a class library. You won't be able to install your plugin or uninstall your plugin. Or later on, let's say if I move my code changes to some another version of nopCommerce, so all the work, all the plugin and the extensible architecture would go to waste. It would mean nothing. So this is very important. It's a simple file, but getting used to it is very important. Secondly, could you please open the domain one? No. The infrastructure one? No, it would be here, this one, yeah. The last one, yeah. Okay. Secondly, this is basically the class that is implementing the base plugin. It is also this is implementing the base plugin. It is inheriting the base plugin and the iAdmin menu plugin. But let me talk about the base plugin one. The concept goes like this, or let's say the standard goes like this: that normally, whenever you will create a plugin, you have got to implement an interface that's called iPlugin. The iPlugin interface has two very crucial methods: the install and uninstall method. Now these are crucial. Like for example, I say that whenever I created a plugin, what does the plugin do? The plugin basically implements the Khalid payment method that I was just talking about, right? Some fairy tale method. So what happens that first, when it is installed, so I have written my code which would create some database tables, and let's say it will also create some other entries into a txt files. What would happen if later on somebody wants to uninstall my plugin? He say, hey, this is a very bad method, this payment method, it's all lost. We are going to uninstall this method and delete it. So if he wants to uninstall it, I want to make sure that when my plugin is uninstalled, all those database tables and that txt file that my plugin created when it was installed, that they are deleted. So that's why these two methods are very crucial. Before you write a plugin, you want to make sure that you do everything necessary in install method, and you undo anything necessary that is in your uninstall method. And could you please run this application and then let it run now, and get back to the slide.
Excuse me,
yes, sir.
You said that without that description file, it would just be an ordinary class library file.
Absolutely, yeah. Because it won't recognize it. Let me go forward and run the application for you and show you how would it. Just give me a moment. I'm coming to your question. Yeah. Okay. Could you please come to this place? Okay. So this is that slide for which I went to the. This says that nop.core, nop.data. Okay, we didn't look into those. Could you please get back to the Visual Studio? I'm sorry. This one. Go up. Go to the full top. Open the library. Open the libraries folder. Okay, there are three other very crucial class libraries in the solution folder as well. One of them is nop.core, nop.data, nop.services. Nop.services is basically the DAL layer that we call the data access layer. Nop.core has all the entities, the validation and everything, and nop.data has the entities and everything in it. It is further explained. Also it is important to note that it uses a EF code first, entity framework code first technique to access its database and do the database operations. Now let me come over here. Yes, yes, this one. Okay, back one slide back. Yes, this one. So now here is a simple of what nop.core is, what nop.data is, nop.services, and we already discussed these two. This is basically the application presentation for admin store, and this is for the public store. So these are the 5 of the class libraries that normally developer would be working with. Normally, if in business applications, what we need to do is we have some business requirements where we have to send data to the DB or bring data from DB and then show it on some pages. So normally, these are the one responsible for them. Now, please take me to the page where the application is running. Okay, this no, not this one. What is this one? Yes. Okay, now this is that public store, the nop.web store, where I said the Amazon or eBay like store. Now let me go to the administration area. I can go to the administration area because I am logged in with an admin account. Okay. It takes a while when you run it from your local machine. Okay. Okay, this is the admin area. I want to come to configurations, to the plugins, and to the local plugins. Yeah. Okay, now these are those plugins. You see my, could you please come down or Control F trial tracker? Yeah. This is that class library, or should I say this is that plugin. That is here now. You can uninstall it. You can also have settings for this trial tracker. Like for example, I can have settings for my Khalid Khan payment plugin that what currency should it use? Should it use Pakistani rupees? Should it use US dollars? Should it use Indian rupees? What would happen? A user can come in and edit the trial tracker that is already installed, or the Khalid Khan payment method, and he would edit it and he would change the money, because he would be using my plugin, let's say in the United States, or maybe let's say using in India, so he needs that currency. You can have that, or you can install and uninstall it. Now this is where I said that understanding the install and uninstall methods in the iPlugin are very crucial, because when he uninstall it, he doesn't want my plugin. So that means that all the things that my plugin did, like created tables in the DB, now while uninstalling it, my plugin should be capable of now removing those database tables and everything, whatever it does. I'm just giving an example. So does this answer your question? Does it answer your question now?
No, actually what I was trying to say is that if I delete that description file, would that solution still be a viable plugin or not?
I think it would still be, but there would be some errors, right?
But
yeah.
What errors?
What do you mean, what errors?
What kind of errors?
Because it won't recognize it, because it won't find that DLL that you're talking about. You know, that description file describes this plugin, this class library as a plugin. Does it rings any bell? Does it make any sense?
Okay. I'll do it to you later after.
Okay, why not? Yeah, you know, because this gives you the file name, or let's say the DLL that you will use. You see that, for example, if I remove this C from it, so you know the DLL that I will receive from this class library won't be recognized as this DLL. You see all this information is also presented there. If Omar can go back. You remember these information. You see this information here as well. Does it ring any bell? Yeah. So some. Okay. Okay. Oh, no, you know.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm extremely sorry. Okay, so this is how it works, and I would like to. Okay. Yes. Okay, 6 minutes to go. We've got one more thing to discuss. Okay. Come down, please. No, inside that class library, yeah. Come down, please. Description. Okay, route.config file, yeah. Route.config file. Okay. Okay. There is a case scenario where what about there is, for example, the nop.web project. Inside the nop.web project, there is a view. Now I want that view and that route to be overridden. I want to insert, like for example, there is a button, and if you click on that button, it shows up an alert saying hi everyone. Now I want to make that button saying on alert that bye everyone, right? I've had enough of you, bye everyone. Now what happens? Now if I want to do that, I need to go to a line of code. Could you please take me down? Yeah. Now this line of code is very important there, because I know that I have, could you go to the views folder? Yeah. Okay, and there is underscore download link. Yeah, double click it. Okay, now this is a view underscore download link, which is somewhere in the nop.admin views. And its functionality is already there. It is doing already its magic there. What I want is to change that functionality, and I have overridden that view, added it here. Now after adding it here, I want the view engine to find my view first, to find this underscore download link view first, then rather than the view which is in the nop.admin project. So what I would do is that I would come to the route.config file, define my routes, and write this line of code, so that this routing or whatever you call it goes to the top of the routing engine, and this is called first, so that my underscore download link view overrides the underscore download link view that is already in that project.
This view is not handled by controller?
Yes, it is handled by controller. Yes.
Then how you can refer your specification that nopCommerce will handle first and not the controller?
Not the nopCommerce. That is a straightforward MVC application. You know what do MVC application?
Basically, you have defined the routes here, right?
Okay.
And you have a controller also.
Yes, absolutely.
So which ones have the priority to access the active?
I'm sorry, I don't get your question. Will you please repeat it?
You have a view.
Okay.
And in general, we see view is accessible by the controller.
Yes, absolutely.
And you are also accessing that view in the routes. Is it?
No.
Or not?
No.
Routes are the path for that view.
Yeah.
They are defining path for that view.
Yeah, I'm rather new to MVC. Actually, this is my very first project on MVC, so don't have lots of information about them. You know, because you guys already know. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Okay. Anyway, continue.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please, please.
Your class library,
Yeah.
you know, that is the plugin. You included that inside your project.
Okay.
Is that required?
I included that where?
Included inside your solution as a project.
No.
That plugin.
No, I added it in a separate folder called plugin.
But that is part of your solution.
Yeah, the solution folder, not the project
What
folder.
he is questioning is that can you simply use only the DLL?
No, you need its .dll. Yeah. Okay, hold on a second,
Then where
please.
do you specify its
ये सब कुछ बंद करें, इनको सबको बंद करें, ऊपर जाएं, ऊपर. Yes, close them. Okay, you see there is this plugins folder, and then you see open the presentations one. Okay, and open the nop.web one, and you have a folder plugin here. This folder has those DLLs. Those libraries are, let's say, what do we call it, compiled into this folder. Yeah, you must have a DLL trial tracker. Yeah.
It also includes your description file.
No, it doesn't.
Then how it
That was my question, but to finish after lecture we can talk.
Okay. Actually, my lecture is finished. I am answering his question. Go on if you have any.
Thank you very much.
यार क्वेश्चन ये है ना,
जी सर.
आपने कहा कि डिस्क्रिप्शन फाइल के बगैर प्लगइन रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं हो. डिस्क्रिप्शन फाइल जो है वो प्लगइन की क्लास लाइब्रेरी के अंदर पड़ी है.
बिल्कुल.
ठीक है, उस क्लास लाइब्रेरी के अंदर डिस्क्रिप्शन फाइल के अंदर मेंशन हुआ हुआ कि कौन सी DLL.
हाँ, एब्सोल्युटली.
अगर मैं सिर्फ DLL यूज करता हूँ तो उसको कैसे पता लग रहा है कि कौन सी DLL है, क्या है, प्लगइन कैसे आइडेंटिफाई होगा? अगर मैं डिस्क्रिप्शन फाइल
वो प्लगइन जब आप इसको बिल्ड करते हैं उसके साथ ही बिल्ड हो रहा है ना.
ओके, नहीं
Another question.
Okay.
I have built a plugin. मैंने आपको अपना source code नहीं देना जो मर्जी कर लें।
ठीक है,
आप
absolutely.
ये क्लास लाइब्रेरी का आउटपुट पास आपको में प्रेजेंटेशन फोल्डर में देंगे।
नहीं आप उसकी बात समझ रहे हैं।
हाँ, हाँ।
इस फोल्डर
हाँ।
में कॉपी हो गई है।
ये आपको प्लगइन
लगा कि टेक्स्ट फाइल का कहाँ से इंफॉर्मेशन उठाएगा?
हाँ, .dll के साथ तो
इसको आप प्लगइन कह रहे हैं।
आप क्लास लाइब्रेरी को
यार एक टाइम
It's actually a very good question, yeah. It's a very good question.
हाँ आप क्लास लाइब्रेरी को
ठीक है।
Okay, thank you guys.